In a modest neighborhood in Rosario, Argentina, a boy named Lionel Andres Messi Cuccittini was born. Small, shy, and quiet, he loved one thing above all: football. Messi's early life wasn't filled with luxuries, but it was surrounded by a strong sense of community. His parents, Jorge and Celia, were hard-working people who did everything they could to provide for their children. The streets of Rosario were alive with the hum of football passion, and little Lionel, even as a toddler, was enchanted by the sound of the ball bouncing. His family didn't have much, but Messi's love for the game seemed to transcend their humble beginnings. There were no grand dreams of fame, no expectations of grandeur, just a boy and his ball, forging a bond that would define his life forever. Before he could even speak in full sentences, Messi had a ball at his feet. Neighbors would watch, stunned, as the tiny boy danced around kids twice his size. The ball wasn't just a toy, it was an extension of him. At age 10, Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. He was much smaller and weaker than other kids. Doctors said he needed expensive treatments, injections every night. But his family struggled. Dreams were easy, treatments were not. While Messi's feet were fast, his body wasn't keeping up. His friends shot up in height, their bodies becoming stronger, but Messi remained small, almost frail in comparison. The diagnosis was a heavy blow. Not only did he face the harsh reality of medical costs, but he also had to confront the idea that his body might not allow him to realize his dream. His family, already stretched thin financially, found themselves at a crossroads. The treatments Messi needed were expensive, and with each passing day, the fear grew. What if the dream that burned so brightly within their son would be extinguished before it had the chance to blossom? Local clubs admired his talent but hesitated to pay for his medical treatment. Even Newell's Old Boys, his beloved home club, couldn't afford it. The dream of becoming a footballer seemed to fade. Until a door opened, far across the ocean. Messi's dream, it seemed, was slipping away. The passion and dedication were there, but the financial burden was insurmountable. Local clubs saw his potential, but without the resources to help with his growth treatment, Messi's future as a footballer looked increasingly uncertain. Even Newell's Old Boys, the club he grew up watching, couldn't make the dream a reality. It was during these dark days that a faint glimmer of hope appeared from across the ocean, from a faraway land where football legends were born. A phone call came through, an offer to come to Barcelona and pursue his dream. It was more than just a second chance. It was the chance, and Messi's family, though unsure of what lay ahead, decided to take it. In Spain, FC Barcelona took a wild chance. They watched a tiny 13-year-old Messi juggle the ball with supernatural control. On a paper napkin, they offered him a contract, a chance, a new life. Messi and his father packed their bags and flew to Barcelona, chasing hope. When Messi's father, Jorge, and the young boy arrived in Barcelona, the reality of what lay ahead was daunting. The city was unfamiliar, the language strange, and the promise of a new life seemed as distant as the stars. But Barcelona, seeing Messi's raw talent, his ability to control the ball like few others, offered him an opportunity. It wasn't grandiose, but it was enough to change everything. A simple contract, scribbled on a paper napkin by Barcelona's sporting director, was a lifeline. Messi and his father, with a mix of excitement and trepidation, stepped into the unknown, a new chapter of their lives unfolding before them. The boy from Rosario was now carrying the weight of his future and the weight of his family's hopes on his shoulders. In Barcelona, Messi faced new challenges, both on and off the field. Language barriers, homesickness, and isolation weighed heavily on him, but football was his refuge. Messi quickly realized that while his talent was undeniable, adapting to a new life in a foreign country would be no easy task. The language barrier made communication difficult, and the intense competition in Barcelona's youth academy tested him both mentally and physically. He missed his family, missed the comfort of his home in Rosario, and the weight of being so far from everything familiar was overwhelming at times. But amidst the uncertainty, Messi found solace in the ball. On the field, it was as if nothing had changed. The ball still whispered to him, guiding him, and reminding him of why he had come all this way. Each dribble, each pass, each goal was a step closer to fulfilling his dream. As the years went by, Messi's skills only grew. But in Barcelona's youth academy, success wasn't guaranteed. Many talented young players came and went, and Messi knew he had to prove himself at every turn. It wasn't enough to just be good, he had to be great. The pressure to succeed mounted as Messi climbed the ranks of Barcelona's youth teams. He faced players who were stronger, faster, and more experienced. But Messi's unique vision, his ability to read the game, and his flawless technique set him apart. His coaches began to take notice. Slowly but surely, he began to prove that he belonged in the spotlight. Yet, with every small victory came a new challenge, the pressure to live up to expectations, the fear that he might never reach the top. But Messi's heart remained unshaken. He didn't play for the glory or the fame. He played for the love of the game, and that love would carry him forward. At 16, Messi was given his first taste of professional football. He stepped onto the pitch for Barcelona's first team, but he wasn't just another player. He was the young prodigy. Messi had proven himself in the youth teams, dazzling everyone with his incredible ability. But stepping onto the field with seasoned professionals was a different world altogether. The pressure was immense, the crowd's expectations, the scrutiny from the media, and the desire to prove himself among footballing giants weighed heavily on his shoulders. But when Messi touched the ball, the game seemed to slow down. His feet, as always, were instinctively attuned to the rhythm of football. He made an immediate impact, earning the respect of his teammates and coaches, as well as the admiration of millions of fans who had been waiting for this moment. With each match, Messi's confidence grew. He scored goals, delivered assists, and earned the recognition of the football world. He was no longer just a prodigy, he was becoming a star. As the seasons passed, Messi continued to evolve, and so did Barcelona. The young Argentine quickly became the beating heart of the team, his connection with the ball and his vision of the game unmatched by his peers. His humble beginnings, his early struggles with health, and the sacrifice of his family fueled his determination to succeed. But it wasn't just his natural talent that made him special. Messi was known for his work ethic, his focus, and his unwavering commitment to improving. Every training session, every match, was a chance to get better. And with each step forward, Messi's influence on the field grew stronger, with each dribble and goal leaving a mark on the footballing world. By 2009, Messi had firmly established himself as one of the best players in the world. But it wasn't just Barcelona fans who were watching. The entire footballing world was captivated. Messi's rise was meteoric, and by 2009, he was already leading Barcelona to glory on both domestic and international fronts. His performances were electrifying, each goal and assist a testament to his extraordinary skill. The world couldn't help but take notice. In 2009, Messi won his first Ballon d'Or, the award recognizing the world's best footballer. But for Messi, it wasn't just the individual awards that mattered. He wanted to lead his team to victory, to bring Barcelona back to the pinnacle of football. And with each match, he proved that he was more than just a rising star, he was a true footballing legend. Barcelona's golden era had begun. Under Messi's leadership, they dominated Spanish football. But it wasn't just Spain that was conquered. Messi and his team took the world by storm. The 2008-2009 season was a turning point for both Messi and Barcelona. The Catalan club, under coach Pep Guardiola, embarked on a journey that would see them win the treble, the Spanish La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the prestigious UEFA Champions League. Messi was at the heart of this triumph, his performances in Europe's elite competition leaving everyone in awe. His incredible dribbling skills, his playmaking ability, and his instinct to find the back of the net made Barcelona almost unstoppable. By the end of the season, Messi had firmly cemented his place as one of the greatest players in football history. With greatness comes pressure. As Messi's stature in the football world grew, so did the expectations. Fans, media, and even his own teammates looked to him for inspiration. Being the best meant carrying the hopes of millions. Messi had always played for the love of the game, but as his career progressed, the weight of the expectations on his shoulders grew heavier. Every match, every goal, every performance was scrutinized. The pressure to perform at the highest level was constant, and with each passing season, Messi found himself being asked to carry Barcelona not only on the pitch but also in the hearts of their fans. But Messi, true to his nature, never allowed the pressure to overwhelm him. Instead, he channeled it into his play, using the weight of expectations to fuel his drive to be the best. In 2011, Barcelona achieved something magical. They dominated Europe, winning the UEFA Champions League final with a performance that would be remembered for generations. Messi, as always, was at the center of it all. The 2011 UEFA Champions League final between Barcelona and Manchester United remains one of the most iconic matches in football history. Messi, playing with a freedom and confidence that seemed almost otherworldly, scored a stunning goal and delivered a performance that left fans and pundits alike speechless. Barcelona won 3-1, securing their second Champions League title in 3 years, and Messi was at the heart of their success. That night, Messi didn't just win a trophy, he reaffirmed his place in footballing legend. The world had seen many great players, but Messi was now among the immortals. While Messi conquered Europe, Argentina remained elusive. The journey to international glory with his national team was fraught with heartbreak. Messi's career with Barcelona was full of success, but his story with the Argentine national team was more complicated. Despite his incredible achievements at the club level, Messi struggled to lead his national team to victory in international tournaments. After coming close to winning the 2014 FIFA World Cup, where Argentina was defeated in the final by Germany, Messi was crushed by the defeat. Yet, even in the face of disappointment, Messi never gave up on his dream of bringing glory to his country. His resilience, his passion for Argentina, and his unyielding drive to succeed became just as central to his story as his club's success. As the years passed, Messi's legacy continued to grow. He wasn't just a footballer. He was an inspiration, a symbol of dedication and perseverance. By the time Messi reached the later stages of his career, there was no longer any debate about his place in footballing history. He had achieved everything there was to achieve with Barcelona, including countless La Liga titles, Champions League trophies, and Ballon d'Or awards. But perhaps his most significant achievement was the way he played the game, with grace, humility, and an unrelenting love for the sport. Messi's journey wasn't just about becoming the best. It was about inspiring others to follow their own dreams, to overcome their struggles, and to never give up on what they believed in. As the greatest footballer of his generation, Messi's legacy would live on, not just in the records he set, but in the hearts of every fan who watched him play. Messi's heart ached for Argentina. Despite his incredible achievements with Barcelona, the one thing that remained out of reach was the one thing he desired most: the World Cup. The 2014 World Cup in Brazil was a defining moment. Messi led Argentina to the final, but fate was cruel. The match against Germany ended in heartbreak, with Argentina falling 1-0 in extra time. Messi, who had carried his team with remarkable performances throughout the tournament, was devastated. The dreams of winning the World Cup, the ultimate footballing prize, slipped through his fingers. For many, this loss would have been a crushing blow, but for Messi, it was fuel for the fire. Despite the immense pain of coming so close, he promised himself that he wouldn't stop until he gave everything he had for Argentina. After the World Cup, Messi faced a crossroads. For a brief moment, he thought of stepping away from international football, but his love for Argentina and the dream of winning the World Cup pulled him back. The heartbreak from Brazil lingered, and after a difficult loss, Messi announced he was walking away from the national team. The media erupted, fans were devastated, and even his teammates felt the weight of his decision. But deep down, Messi knew he wasn't done. His heart belonged to Argentina, and he couldn't leave them with unfinished business. In a few months, he reversed his decision, ready to fight again. His return to international duty was greeted with relief and excitement. The fire inside him had only grown stronger. Then came the Copa America 2021. Messi had faced heartbreak after heartbreak with Argentina, but this time, he wasn't going to let it slip away. The final, against Brazil, was Messi's chance to silence the doubters and fulfill his dream. In Rio de Janeiro, under the lights of the Maracanã Stadium, Messi led Argentina to victory, winning 1-0 against Brazil. The weight of years of disappointment, of losses and near misses, was finally lifted. Messi's face, a picture of pure joy and relief, spoke volumes as he held the trophy aloft. It wasn't just a win, it was redemption. The joy in Messi's eyes wasn't just for the trophy. It was for the country that had supported him through every trial. It was for all the times he had put on the Argentine shirt, despite the pain. At long last, Messi had delivered what he had dreamed of, an international trophy for his beloved Argentina. As Messi entered the final years of his career, things at Barcelona began to change. The club was facing financial turmoil, and Messi's future with the team was uncertain. The departure from Barcelona was one of the most difficult moments in Messi's life. For over 2 decades, Barcelona had been his home, the place where he had built his legacy. But as the club's financial struggles worsened, Messi's contract was up, and the club was unable to afford to keep him. In August 2021, Messi bid farewell to Barcelona. The club that had been his family, the city that had nurtured his rise, was now a chapter in his past. The emotional farewell was a moment that shook the football world, as fans worldwide witnessed the end of an era. Messi's tears were a testament to the deep bond he had with Barcelona and the incredible journey they had shared. Messi's move to Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, marked the start of a new chapter. The city of Paris, the French league, all new experiences for the man who had spent his entire professional life at Barcelona. In PSG, Messi joined forces with some of the world's best players, including Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. At first, it was hard for Messi to adjust. He was no longer the sole leader of the team. He was now part of a star-studded squad, with a new set of expectations and roles to learn. But Messi's genius remained unchanged. His ability to create, to pass, to score, it was as though his age had done little to slow him down. He brought his characteristic vision to PSG, contributing to their success both in domestic football and on the European stage. It wasn't Barcelona, but Messi had found a new home, and his legacy was far from over. As Messi entered the twilight years of his playing career, his influence began to extend beyond football. He became an ambassador for the sport, a symbol of greatness, and a role model for generations to come. Off the field, Messi dedicated much of his time to philanthropy, using his platform to raise awareness for children's rights, health, and education. His Leo Messi Foundation grew, supporting initiatives that provided medical care, education, and sport opportunities to underprivileged children around the world. Messi understood that his legacy was not just about the goals he scored or the trophies he won. It was about how he could inspire the next generation, both on and off the field. His commitment to making the world a better place showed that his greatness extended far beyond football. The young boy from Rosario had become an icon, someone who would be remembered not only for his extraordinary talent but for his heart, his humility, and his contribution to the world. As Messi reached the final stages of his illustrious career, his impact on the game remained as powerful as ever. Although his playing days were winding down, every match became a celebration of his legacy. As Messi aged, he evolved as a player, adjusting his style to preserve his sharpness and vision. He became even more of a playmaker, orchestrating attacks and setting up teammates with the same flair he had shown throughout his career. The goals may have come less frequently, but his influence on the field remained unparalleled. Fans flocked to see him play, not just to watch the greatest footballer of all time, but to witness the final chapters of an era that had changed the world of sport forever. Messi's final game arrived, and the football world held its breath. As he walked off the pitch for the last time, the applause was deafening. It wasn't just for the player who had rewritten the history books. It was for the man who had given everything to the game he loved. In that final moment, Messi stood on the field one last time, surrounded by friends, family, and fans who had witnessed his incredible journey. His legacy was forever cemented, not just in the records, but in the hearts of millions around the world. He had transcended the sport itself. The boy who once dreamed of playing football in the streets of Rosario had done it. He had changed the game, he had inspired generations, and his name would live on forever. Even after Messi's final match, his impact on the world of football continued. Stadiums filled with the chant of his name, fans young and old paid tribute to his greatness, and the world celebrated a career unlike any other. As future generations of footballers looked to Messi's legacy, they saw more than just a master of the game. They saw a man who never gave up, who overcame challenges and adversity, and who played the game with pure joy and humility. Messi had set the bar for what it meant to be truly great, and his story would inspire every player who dreamed of following in his footsteps.